Stampers, it's Shannon here with Shannon Sizzlen Stampers, and I've got my new little buddy, Cotton, short for Cotton Candy or Cotton Lily. It just came to me from my little granddaughter, and well, two granddaughters and one grandson from their family. And he has not been in my craft room yet, but I just thought I'd show him off because he's so cute. All right, let me let him get down, and let's us get started. I have a super fun community project today. It is an accordion fold card, and I think you'll really like this fun fold. And it's perfect for heading into summertime with all the sporting things that will be coming on in your life. All right, so let's go over what your kit has in it. And I neglected to grab, but your kit also has a craft envelope in it. This will make one card. It's a fancy fold card, so hopefully you really enjoy it. And let's see what's in your kit. So you have, oh, I did have an envelope in there. Okay, I didn't know I'd stuck one in for mine. All right, so you've got lots of little parts and pieces to this kit, so make sure that you don't lose anything, including your little thing of stars. Okay, so make sure you do not lose that. My little cat is crawling in my closet in there, my crafting closet. Okay, so you've got some stars. Also remember, these pieces and parts may be different colors. So the stars are 4 different colors: blue, yellow, red, and in green, a deep green, but they are color coordinated, so they match your papers. And everyone will have some of each color on their papers. It's just your designs may vary slightly, and your solid cardstock pieces may be different. So your card may be this nice crushed cream yellow, it could be real red, or it could be the evening evergreen color. So you have that card base, which is 5.5 by 11. And you have a solid card stock that is one of those 3 colors that's about 1 inch by 5 1/4. And then you have, I'm going to try to put them in line. You'll all have a piece like this size. It's 5 1/4 by, I don't quite remember my measurement this morning, by 3 3/4, I believe. Then you have 2 pieces that are roughly 2 by 5 1/4 or 2.5. Let's see. My brain, yeah, 2.5 by 5 1/4. So you have two pieces that size. Then you have another piece of designer paper that is about 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. Then you're going to have one ticket, full size ticket like that. And you're going to have 2 small tickets. They're all different sayings. And then you're going to have a flag. All different sayings, all different colors. And that all of your designer paper are dual-sided. So if you don't like one side, choose which side you like. Most all of them have something that is a little bit more generic on one side than the other. So if you're not a full-on baseball fan, you don't have to use the baseball motifs. You can use the stars and the stripes and have a little bit more of a patriotic flair that has rays or balls. So they're designed for whatever. And there are a variety of sayings. I have one that says Happy Day. There's All Star. There's all kinds of things. There's things that say you're in your own league, a league of your own, all different kinds of things. So let's go ahead and get started. You're going to set aside your stars and all your little decorative pieces, and set your DSP pieces aside. And we're going to start with the first piece. And you guys that have done this with me before, we're going to score. Now, you do not have to have the scoring tool. If you'd ever love to have the scoring tool, I highly recommend it. I'm happy to order one for you. Just message me on, follow my Facebook page, Sizzlen Stampers, message me, or you can text me. But we are going to start with the card base of 5.5 by 11, and we are going to score it at 4 inches And don't worry if you don't have a scoring tool. When I finish scoring, I will go through with you some other ways that you can score if you don't have a score tool. You're going to score it at 4, 6 3/4 and 9 1/2. Okay, and on this solid cardstock, I do give a little bit of pressure, and I'm using the large ball tip of my embossing tool. This is not my good Stampin' Up! One. I have lost it, sadly. So, all right, we're going to set that aside. Now, if you do not have a scoring tool or a little embossing stylus, you can use things like a ruler. Make your little marks on both sides of your paper where you need the lines, and then you lay your ruler right next to it and take the back side of a pair of scissor blades and come right down in there. You can also, if you don't have any of that, you can do a good enough job by putting some pencil marks and just folding it with your hands. All right, so go ahead, once you have your score lines in, you can also use a bone folder to help you with your scoring if you happen to have that tool. But we want to just, right now I'm not caring which way these go. We're just going to put them all in. All right, so when you have it all folded and done, you want it to fold and look like this. So can you see this is the back of the biggest panel, then you have 2 others, and it starts out with the small panel, okay? All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and get going. And the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna put the largest piece in. Now, I've purposefully designed this with the DSP for you to have a side on there that is less designed. So it's easy that you could write or stamp your message right on there, which is what we're going to do. I'm going to stamp mine with some of this stamp from the Your Biggest Fan. This is almost heading into June, and this is a great time for this. But this is the last month that this particular stamp set is available. And so if you want this stamp set, it's a photopolymer, meaning it's clear and all the little things pop out and they go on a block. So if you want this particular stamp set to have in your crafting container, please just reach out and message me. You can comment on the video, below the video. If you haven't heard from me, please instant message me on Facebook Messenger, or go to my Sizzlen Stampers Facebook business page, and you can find me there. All right. So stamping right there. You don't have to. If you don't have a stamp that you want to use, you can clearly just write your message. So you can write on down in there. But the papers that I design, that I put in your kits, hopefully I can move my paper pad up, are going to be ones that you can write on and clearly be seen. All right, and then if you want to do any other stamping or things as we go along, you can to that project. Now it's just simply laying out what you like and deciding where you like what, okay? So it's which side do you want? And it's figuring out all of that goodness. Now here's the deal. You have to remember that this is kind of what it's going to look like when you open and close it. So that may make a difference on what side you choose to use. And where you decide to place what items. So I'm thinking for mine, this small flap is what is double-sided. And you can either center it, but it's specifically meant to be more narrow to leave you a little bit of playroom, and you'll see why in a moment. So it's not a big deal. You can center it or not. It's totally up to you. The thing that you want to try to do that I think is the more important of any of it is trying to get the the tops and the bottom of the borders to be similar or pretty close when you put that on, okay? That to me is the more important piece, is that I'm going to try to line it up from the bottom and try to get those as close so that when they're laying across there, they're nicely uniform. And we're going to come in and put again, lining up with the bottom edge or the top edge, whatever you prefer. And then now, and if you want your solid cardstock on the front half or the front little piece, you can have it there. And again, line it up how you want. If you want it to be more centered, you can have it more centered. Okay. Now comes a little bit of fun. So the tickets you may want to cut out a little bit more closer. You're going to definitely have to cut your flags. And please note, some of the flags have little sticks on them and some do not. That's just how the paper comes on a lot of those. But I really didn't, this was a difficult alignment. They weren't lined neatly like the tickets. So I really, in my mind, envisioned that most people are probably going to just cut the banner flag out. Most people are not going to have the little stick. And I've cut mine with the stick right now, but it may be problematic. So we'll see how that goes. And then you can leave your tickets like that, or you can come in and just follow the line a little bit more and get a little bit more of a ticket fill. But I love this paper, is gorgeous as well. Again, it's the last month for this paper. You have all these great sport prints, and then you get 2 sheets of flags and you get 2 sheets of tickets. And they're so fun. Some of the tickets are like you're invited, so you could use those for a birthday party, an anniversary, just fun invitation to invite some friends to go to a ball game or concert with you, because your invited tickets are generic. You can come in and like this red, you can see a little bit more of the curvy ticket edge. So you can do it like so. Okay, so we've cut out 2 of our tickets, the little ones. And then the big one, most of them that I found on there, I could be wrong, but I think most of them fall into this more streamlined with just little things. It's kind of like, here's your big ticket, and when you go check in at the ball game or the concert, they're going to leave you with the small. They're going to take one piece and you get they're going to take your small piece and you're going to get the large piece. Of course, we all know tickets nowadays are not the same as they were even 10 years ago. So you may or may not be familiar with these ticket styles. This is kind of designed to have a little bit of a vintage flair to it. You can tell with like the old style umpiring gear, or at least the way the paper is sketched and the colors and the finishes like on that ticket kind of give it an old time, not too old, just a nice vintage feel. So you've got all your things cut out. And now you're going to come in and you want to add these fun little things hanging out. So one thing I wanted to show you that you can do with your ticket is you can fold it in half like so. And we can tuck it right around like that. And if you don't like the tickets, they have this really cool blue wood background, so you could cut and make something out of that. So you could do it. You could slide the ticket up under here as well. Let's try that. But you will lose the back ticketing side. So that's why, like, I really like doing it this way. I'm going to put it down here. And I'm just going to fold it And right now I've only got adhesive on that back, and I kind of like to have the adhesive on there. I'm giving it this extra little flappy thing. I don't know if I'll keep it there or not yet, but we're going to play. So I've got the little big ticket in there, and I think I'm going to put my little ticket like this. This is the other reason I did the solid cardstocks narrow, so that you have a little bit of space for your ticket decoration. And we want to have our flag coming off somewhere as well. So that's the other thing that you have to also see. I use the star instead of the bats, and that gives me really nice extra room for a picture or more. What do I want to say? Thanks, Shannon. Writing. If I wanted to write a longer note to this person. So we're going to have all these little cute flappy things hanging out of our card. And I think I'm going to slide that there because I'm looking at the card in a number of ways as I'm creating. I'm leaving it here. I'm opening it here. And I'm opening it here. So I think we're going to do that one there. Okay. All right, now are the little stars. And again, where you place them might depend on what color of stars you have. Oops. And I would suggest you use the little scissors. The adhesive on these stays really good. And the resin star sometimes pops off without its adhesive. If you can't get it off properly, you can always use a glue dot. But here is what I was saying about when you have this space up in here. I'm going to put 2 of them down here. That's kind of why I designed it. And there are also 2 different sizes of stars, so you may find that you have a different size. I'm going to try to pop that one back on. Sometimes once they're off, I got lucky on that one. So those stars, again, I'm looking at my card and kind of balancing it out. 2, 1, 2, 1. We can always have that layout there if we want. And when you put it into your envelope, it would stay. So I hope you really like this fun, fancy accordion fold sporting card. It is a great one for all the men and women, everyone in your life, anyone who's an athlete, anyone who just is fond of the sport. If it's not baseball, flip them over and use the more generic backgrounds, the stars and the different stripes and the sun rays. But I think you'll find that this is a super fun card for you to create this summer. All right, enjoy you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.